Good morning. Good morning. Happy April Fool's Day. Welcome to Mondays at Microsoft, where we break down the last 2 weeks and the next 2 weeks of everything that's happening across Microsoft. I'm Caruana Gatima with the Microsoft 365 Customer Advocacy Group.
And hello, Caruana. Good morning. I'm Heather Cook, Principal Community Evangelist for the Customer Advocacy Group for M365.
Yes.
Yay, and happy
Oh,
April
6
Fools. No fooling over here. I'm not a big fan.
No, I
Don't look
actually
at
I have to say though, Heather, I actually thought of coming on air and announcing that I was like leaving Microsoft or
Oh,
something really
goodness.
dramatic like that, but I'm not. And
Okay,
you
good.
wouldn't have thought that was funny. So I
No,
decided
I wouldn't have thought that was funny. I've
my
seen so
husband,
many this morning too, and I'm like, is that for real? I'm like, no, I'm just going to say everything is a no, not for
yeah,
real.
right,
Right? Yeah.
exactly. My
Yeah.
husband's a big April Fool's person, and so he's infected me with that. But nothing we share with you today is April Fool's. We are going to stay on the up and up, everybody. If
For
you're
sure.
watching on LinkedIn, you're going to get your links live from the awesome team we have supporting us. On YouTube, we'll post them after the fact. And we are still experimenting with going live to Facebook too. So if we're out there on Facebook, hi everyone. Um, Especially my family who watches on Facebook, which
I
is
know.
awesome. Well, we have a lot going on, as always. It seems like that's the theme lately. And the first thing I want to talk about is, of course, the news about Microsoft and OpenAI.
Mm.
They have announced the third phase of their partnership. And this includes three really important things. It's a multi-billion dollar, multi-million dollar, multi-year effort. And one of the things that it's going to focus on developing is supercomputers, right? We're going to create one together that enables AI innovation and also continue to build out the Azure infrastructure so that our customers can do the same. I hope you're seeing that everything that we invest in our relationship with OpenAI is translating directly to AI innovations for our customers. Like that's really the nature of what's going on there. We're building new AI experiences, including deploying additional OpenAI models across our products and services, and so the developers can also access them. And then we are going to be the exclusive cloud provider for all of their capabilities with Azure. So that's going to power all the OpenAI workloads, and that includes the research work, the core product work, and all the API services. So, a lot going on there. As always, you can read the blog about it. I like the thing I like about this relationship, Heather, is that it's very it's flexible, it's
Mhm.
respectful. Obviously, it's profitable and is yielding fantastic results. But I really get the feeling that the two teams, they have a good working relationship with each other, which is really important, for this kind of work.
Yeah, well, and it's not like we like heard of OpenAI and it just kind of went away as a partner either. You know what I mean? It's just it's sort of like it keeps blooming, right? It's like, okay, here's the next bloom and the next bloom of what's happening, and it's great that we're getting all this great information shared with us too, and
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. It's huge. And of course, that goes to
Mhm.
our next really big rock, right?
Oh yeah.
We created a new division called Microsoft AI. And we have a new CEO and executive vice president of that newly formed division, Mustafa Suleiman. Many of you probably already know him from the tech industry, but also as chief scientist of that division, Karen Samayan will be joining us as well. They already have. You can read Satya's blog post about this. I really felt like his blog post was like right from his pen. Like I didn't feel like it had been corporate scrubbed, right? I felt like it was what you all saw was the same memo we all got internally. And I really
Mhm.
like when he does that.
Yeah.
It might be a little more pointy, but it's very direct, and you get inside the mind of the man who's really driving so much innovation and so much
Mhm.
transformation for our company. I think that's really important if you're in this ecosystem that you understand what he's thinking about. So fantastic blog there on that. Deep experience in AI, obviously, at both these folks. And what I love was what Satya said directly about this at the end of that blog post. We have a real shot to build technology that was once thought impossible and that lives up to our mission to ensure that the benefits of AI reach every person and organization on the planet safely and responsibly. That's the memo he sent to every Microsoft employee. So again, this is not, our responsible AI layer is not just fluffy conversation, and the democratization of these capabilities. we definitely believe in that. So I'm excited about that. That's the big news, Heather. Huge.
Yeah, totally. Huge news. And just, more investment, more responsible AI, more of all the things that we're all really looking forward to continuing to have conversations about. So, and that's meant some shifts internally, for our colleagues. There's folks that are moving from different teams and really taking on, a different tact with what they're doing with their work. So it's been exciting. And, it's sometimes, reorganizations, as they say, are unnerving sometimes too, right? Because you kind of don't know what. So you've got both the what's going to happen and oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So that's fun. Change. People say they like change, and a lot of people do, and then a lot of people don't. So it's embracing that change to see what we're going to build together, which is really exciting. So
yeah, and anytime a senior leader comes inside Microsoft, there's a moment of culture shift for them. We have a very strong culture under Satya, and every senior leader I've ever seen come in the company has to go through kind of understanding what that culture means in the way that we approach things. I'm sure it'll be no different for the folks who came with Mustafa and him as well. But what I know is that our culture is more open to educating others about it now. And that's, frankly, and this is true for all of you. If you switch jobs and you come in as a senior or a new person, take a moment to look around and understand that culture, because it has a lot to do with how you get decisions made and what is happening, around the world. So absolutely. Well, Heather and I were in Redmond last week. I don't know about you, Heather. I'm really happy to be home. I loved being in Redmond with the team, but boy, did I like sleeping in my own bed.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, it was wonderful. I think most of us, we're all still working from home, and that's like our lives now, right? Working from home. And then also some people are starting to go in the office. And so it's kind of a fun hybrid combination of getting together. And so our leadership got together with us. Our, Adam Harmnitz, who is our manager, he led this wonderful offsite for us, and it was great. He also has a great blog. So he and his wife write a blog together called Mind the Beat, and we'll put the link up there. And it's so fun to read his stuff. I've read it for I know you have too for a long while. He's had it for years and years, and he has an article about last year's and then tagged onto it about this year's as well, about how he puts those together and thinks through them, and it's fun to get into his brain that way. And it was just cool to share with other people and go, oh yeah, for me, changing teams too, I got to meet a ton of people that, lots happened since I've been on the SharePoint team way back in the day. So
yeah, there's a lot. It's not the same. It's not the same bubble anymore for sure. But
yeah,
it was definitely good. We're also celebrating Women's History Month. Don't you have some stuff about that, Heather?
Yeah, absolutely. And Women's History Month, Black History Month, all the history months, all year long celebration, but we have specific ones carved out, of course. But yes, with finishing out Women's History Month officially, there was some really great blog posts about our Azure team, about the women leaders in our Azure team, just navigating this whole new realm of generative AI, and just, models of how they, really work inclusively and are just such cool, interesting people. And so there's a great blog post from that team about all of them and what they've been doing. And so definitely you want to check that out for sure. So, and I know we had some Adobe Summit exciting news as well with work trends that you were going to talk about too.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Definitely. According to that work trends index, I hope folks know about the work trends. So if you are talking about productivity and collaboration and you need data or you need insights or your leadership is really trying to understand what's happening, the work trends site is the place to go. And 43% of marketing communications professionals report that having to switch between digital applications and programs is disruptive. I call it change fatigue when I'm teaching user enablement. It's a very common thing. And it definitely plagues marketing communications folks because of their use and reliance on Adobe products, right? And so luckily, Adobe Experience Cloud and Microsoft Co-pilot are going to work together so that marketers can find the right information right through the Co-pilot experience and bring that contextual data from the Adobe Experience Cloud and also Dynamics 365 into the flow of work. Listen, anything that you can use that brings something into the flow of your natural workday is really important.
Yeah.
One of the things I've been telling people is you love using, most people are really enjoying using Co-pilot for Microsoft 365 in Teams and also in Outlook for summarizations. But don't forget about being able to use it in the web. That is normally where I go to do things like summarize the emails for my boss for the last 10 days. But imagine being able to ask questions about all the campaigns that you've run, the
Yep.
communications you sent out. So, this kind of integration is really important. Of course, we're going to put that blog up as well. But share that with the folks in your organization who use Adobe. We continue to build on that integration in Teams as well. We've improved the PDF integration and what have you. Now, it's still a masterclass to do things around file sharing and what have you, but between the two creative clouds. But if you're the creative director, you have to navigate both. This way, at least you can get your data all in one place.
Yeah. And, I mean, I think Adobe Illustrator, like you scratch the surface sometimes of these products,
Oh,
Adobe's products are
yes.
so unbelievably wonderful.
And what they're doing with the new stuff, with their generative AI capabilities built into the new
Yeah.
Photoshop Express is
Yeah.
really impressive. We
Yeah.
get a chance to test that internally. And I believe it's out in their early version of their early adopter
Mhm.
program now. And it's really, really very cool.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
but I would be remiss if I didn't remind you all that there is another live event happening this week.
Ooh,
It's
that's right.
another event where we'll be there to answer your questions. We're launching a series called Meet the Maker. And this is a series where I get a chance to interview the actual product leaders that are making these decisions that impact products all across the Microsoft ecosystem. And I'm so excited to have the two leaders who are responsible for the transformation of Planner to do and project and that new unified strategy as my premiere episode. And you'll be able to watch that live here on LinkedIn, but also on the MTC, the Microsoft Tech Community, as a part of our launch around the new planner and celebrating its launch of its general availability.
That's
We'll
super
also
awesome.
follow, and it's going to be so cool. We're going to
Yeah.
follow that up with an AMA, Heather. And so what's awesome
Yay.
is you can watch the series, you can understand,
Yeah.
hey, what are Roberto and Howard Crow, who's been around this ecosystem forever? Some of you may know him.
Yeah, it's Howard.
I know, right? What are they thinking? What is coming next? Why are they doing this? Why are they, merging these products together? And then you can come the next day into the tech community and ask all your questions because we'll be there then too. So I'm really excited about this event. I'm also really excited about the Meet the Makers series. I think it helps when you really understand the people behind the products. And these engineering leaders are awesome, and I'm happy to get to bring them to you. So that's cool.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about a super technical thing because I had a couple exchanges actually on LinkedIn with some folks asking questions about where and how and all of that. So let me just say, when you go to these links, you can download the ICM so you can put it in your actual calendar as a meeting request placeholder, right?
Right.
Then when you go back to the tech community to watch, it is on that page. So it goes right there,
Yeah.
So folks were like, huh? And so just to say that out loud, when we're doing live events on the MTC, you can have that, placeholder in your calendar, and then you're going back to the MTC to just watch right there. So the viewer's right in the page.
Yep.
So
The same
anybody
page you have the ICM from, the same page you put in here as a note. It's just an embedded live event that happens right there. Yeah, thank you for clarifying that because it doesn't, I don't know, it's not that obvious. If you've done a
I
couple
think
of these, you
we
might
might want to
know.
say something there. I'd like, right here, right now. You're going to see it right here or something.
Watch right here is what that page should say.
Exactly. So yeah, get into that. But I'm super excited about it. And then we should probably the Meet the Maker series like schedule, right? So put that out in our next Microsoft at Mondays.
When we make one, we'll do that. We don't have one yet.
I know. I'm excited about it. I was like, what's next? Meet the Makers. Like, yay. It's gonna be awesome. So cool.
Yes, it's not as scheduled as this because we have to get in those executive calendars and they can be a little bit complicated. So whoever's next is the person who will sit with me next, but I can be kind of persuasive. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's fun. But what's coming up? Well, cool. Well, we've got some things in the business applications realm. So coming up soon, April 10th. So in the next little bit, we've got the business applications launch event, which happens twice a year. So business applications, so Power Platform and Dynamics 365. There's 2 launch events. There's always one in April, and there's always one in October. And so this is all online. You can link, we're going to put in the chat. It's all coming on and talking about what's going out. And so they do release waves. And so this is 2024 release wave 1. A lot of on by default things coming out for apps in the Power Platforms. That's really exciting. So turning on the model or change to always on, big things that are coming out right. That's going to be great. And then kind of with that, April, who is part of our cloud advocacy team for Power Platform, and the rest of her team, they have an awesome series showing you how to turbocharge your workflows with generative AI.
My dear friend,
and Gomalapi is taking.
You're having some technical difficulties, and so none of us can hear you. Your signal is fading. So I'm going to go back and just make sure the audience hears what you were saying, because we couldn't. I thought it was me. It's not me.
Oh, all right. I was like, I don't know what happened. Okay. Yeah. Well, so business applications launch event. Yeah.
No, we didn't.
Business applications.
Nobody heard that. You're still not coming. I think you make sure nothing else is on your Wi-Fi. I think that's something is going on with your Wi-Fi. But we always post these links, and the business applications launch event that Heather was talking about that you may have missed a little bit about, that's April 10th, 2024. I know we couldn't hear the date there, Heather, so I'm just going to make sure everybody's got that. And then you just double check your Wi-Fi. And it's really important. Like if you're anywhere near this business applications bubble, and all of you should be, because why? We're all better together. That's why Co-pilot Studio and Power Automate are awesome. Plus everything else that comes out of BAP is fantastic. So you want to put these launch events on your calendar. I think they do this really well. I've always really admired the launch events in business applications. Modern work doesn't operate the same, where SharePoint and Teams and all that is. They tend to do individual product things, but business applications brings it all together and really makes it a moment. So that is tremendously exciting. So
can you hear me now still?
We can hear you now. Absolutely.
I'm plugged into the source. I'm not even on Wi-Fi, so I don't know what's going on. Something.
Okay. Well, who knows what it is? Could be streaming.
Anywho, well,
thank you.
Wave at me again if it happens. But
I will.
Yes. So let me take you into business applications, April 10th, like we just said. And then we also have April Dunham and the Cloud Advocates team for Power Platform. They have a whole new video series on how to turbocharge your workflows with generative AI. Gomalemo Mohapi is kicking things off with an intro to AI prompts. And so that series is going to be available. And they're doing all kinds of things on Power Automate desktop as well. So you definitely want to check that out, and we'll put the link in the chat. From Microsoft Fabric, they just had a fabulous event in Las Vegas. So congratulations to everybody on that awesome event. Lots of great announcements. I know Jason Himmelstein is going to be putting out a blog of like what was said there, and there's all kinds of things coming. But you can do a certificate exam. They have the general availability of exam DP, Data Platform 600, which leads to the Certified Fabric Analytics Engineer Associates certification. So that's a really cool one. And so you have a free certification exam by completing the AI Skills Challenge that's up right now. It started the 19th of March and goes through April 19th. First come, first serve on the certifications, limit one and per participant and all that good jazz. But you can go check that out and get that as well from the links in the chat. So we've got that. And then popping into some community content with Caruana, we had MVP Pascal Brunner interviewed her about implementing Co-pilot and the human side of change. And so you can really check out the way he put together the content, because it's a really great example of something readable and digestible for our readers, video viewers, and visual people alike. So, community generated content is awesome. So a big shout out to Pascal on that really great interview. So I'm going to lead into our events segment. So as part of our Microsoft Global Community Initiative, I want to invite all of you to join us for our general meetings. Those are on the third Tuesday of the month, and the next one is coming up on April 16th. So if you would like to come join the Global Community Initiative, or MGCI, as we love our acronyms, we'll put the link in the chat for that as well, so you can sign up for the MGCI in general. What is that? Well, it is a space for all of us to come together, talk about community, where we listen as Microsoft and hear different things that you would like to have us be doing in the world. And also we share a lot of information about what's coming up next, all the community calls, all the events, all that sort of thing. So definitely give a shout to signing up for that and come into those general meetings. Everybody is welcome. You can bring your entire team and do that as well. And that leads into our efforts around communitydays.org. So communitydays.org, as many of you already know, is our one-stop shop for community events at Microsoft. Those of you who haven't been there yet, you can check it out, because there's call for contents, call for speakers, all the information you could ever want on what's going on with community events. Now, a lot of us are getting ready for the Microsoft 365 conference coming up in April in Orlando this month. We also have a discount code for that show for $100 off for MSCMTY. We have some discount codes for other shows as well. We've got the TechCon and PowerCon coming up in June. That show we have a discount code for as well, and we'll put all of those in the chat. And also for European Collaboration Summit coming up in Germany. So we've got tons and tons of discount codes and great events coming up. Now, LED-led, community-led free events coming up in April. We have got a ton. We have got April 5th, we've got AMS in Lausanne. We've got M365 Community Days in New Jersey on April 6th. We've got Intranets and AI. We've got Collab Days Poland in April. Modern End Management Summit as well. And we've also got Community Days Severage, Color Cloud in Hamburg, Germany. We've got the biannual Spring Workshop Day in Edina, Minnesota. We've also got Collab Days Utah coming up in Sandy. My goodness, AMC Pepite in Tahiti, BizApps Palooza in Toronto, Canada, and the Dynamics 365 Summit coming up in Lisbon. And then to round out the month, AMS Numia in New Caledonia. Whew. That is a lot of events coming up. The paid events that we have coming up, we've got North American Cloud and Collaboration Summit coming up April 9th in Irvine, Texas. The community conference in Orlando. We've also got CommsV Next coming up April and 23rd, 24th in Denver, and then DynaWay Connect in Greenville, South Carolina. So there are so many events that are coming up that you can get into, which are really, really exciting. We also host a quarterly meeting via our Microsoft Global Community Initiative, MGCI, for event producers that is under non-disclosure agreement. We sometimes share dates with you and other things that we have coming up, as well as creating a safe space for event producers to share and talk with each other. So if you want to get the scoop in an inviting environment with other producers, you can fill in the form. We're moving to a quarterly meeting for that. So we'll have a longer 90-minute meeting in 2 different time zones for those folks there. We also have a event training for event producers, and that is the last week of the month as well. We just had one where we had Community Days Miami. We had Lauren and Emily on, and they did a, looking back and sharing with everybody about how they produced their Community Days event. It was awesome. So many great kernels and nuggets of goodness came out of that. And I think especially on the marketing realm, I think that's one of the things that most people need a lot of help with, right? Because you want to get the word out to everybody about how, where is your event? When is your event? Who's going to be there? All that sort of thing. And so they talked a lot about the different tools and processes they used for actually marketing their show. So it was really cool to hear all of that from them. And a couple of the things that we're going to be doing as part of the MGCI event training is that myself and Dave Wilhelm and Dave Levier and also Wes Preston, we met and with Tiffany Lee on our team, and we talked through, what are we going to put together for training for the next few months. And so we had a survey go out there, and we asked everybody, what do you want to learn about? So we had a few different things that came to mind, and a lot of it was around tools and process. Like, how do you create a budget? how do you get sponsors? What are the, emails that you send? And how do you even think through putting together how much money you need from a sponsor to actually put on event, right? Also, how do you use Eventbrite? Why do you use Meetup? What are the tools out there? What's this thing called Sessionize that everybody uses, right? So we're going through and working with folks because so many people locally are bringing community together, especially, after this time we've all gone through. I think there's a lot of focus on just local people, going to events, of course, but also being local and really strengthening the communities that we all live in, right? Caruana and myself have been talking about, and coming soon, we're going to announce a Community Days Los Angeles and a Community Days Phoenix, Arizona, aren't we?
Western region for the win, baby. April Fools. I thought I'd just leave for a minute and
I know, where'd you go?
just popped out for a sec. It's all good. It's all good.
I was like, what's so funny is I have the screen up and I have our notes on one side and you on the other side, and I was like, I think she's going. So, and I figured it out.
The
I was
notes
like,
on the digital, I just popped out. No, I can always trust you to keep the flow going. You're awesome. Well, and, I just love all the work that we're doing in MGCI. It's spectacular, and there's just so much going on. Did you already talk about Pascal's interview?
Oh, I did. But do you want to actually talk about it? Because, he interviewed you and it was awesome. So go ahead and talk about it. I did say about it. Yeah. It was super fun.
But I just wanted, there's two things. Pascal Brunner is a fantastic MVP who interviewed me after MVP Summit. And I want you to watch this interview, but not because it's me, but because it's him. And I just want to call out his production quality. When he ended up doing interview, answering specific questions. And, it was just a flowing conversation, but the way he wrote the article and cut and edit it is a master class in best practices for writing an article like that on LinkedIn. So if any of you are content creators out there, or you want to be content creators, not only watch it for the co-pilot information and what we're talking about user enablement, but look at it for his formatting. Oh my God, it was so unbelievably well done. And, he just came with his little backpack and a couple little things. Nowadays, the equipment to do this kind of work is so small, that you don't need a huge, remember in the day we used to carry around these big Pelican cases.
Oh my gosh.
I saw somebody with a huge, so happy I don't have to carry those anymore.
No more Pelican cases.
Pascal, we had a good fun time.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, it's cool.
We had a fun time talking about Co-Pilot, and he just did a great job on that article. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, it is interesting. Like, there's so many ways to, do podcasts, video casting, and all of that now. And it's like the equipment is so little, and it's just, you can bring it with you. So yeah, I'm really excited about, more and more community content, and you all just do such beautiful things. There's so many great things on Twitter and LinkedIn that our community is building all the time. It's pretty awesome. So thank you everybody for that, for sure. So that's good. Yeah. And I was seeing in the chat that
we have a lot to look forward to at the end of April too.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. Lots of great comments. I'm glad folks are enjoying the training, and yeah, definitely keep the feedback coming of what you want to learn, because we're going to bring more and more people. We're going to announce new regional leaders this week, bringing into the MGCI. So that is coming. And we have our community calls that are put on by Microsoft page that's coming. That's going to be V1 very soon. And then we're going to open it up to other folks who want to add their community calls that they're doing on that too. So we've got a bunch of cool new stuff coming in that realm as well. So good stuff all around. Yeah. And I think you and you start traveling again soon, because but I'm here for the month. I'm kind of excited about that. I'm like, what?
Lucky you, because I'm only here till the 16th, and then I start traveling all over the place.
Yeah.
I get to go to COMSB next in Denver. I'm doing an event with our friends at Startup Grind in California. I
Right.
got accepted to speak at the AI Symposium at MIT.
Nice.
And I'm super excited about that. I'll be posting that on my LinkedIn. And then, of
Cool.
course, you and I will both be at N365 conference at the end of
Yep.
the month. And my keynote there just got confirmed. And so I get to give a
Yeah.
keynote at the end of that show, really wrapping together all the innovation and talking about landing business value and developing your career and user enablement. So if you come to that show, stay till the end, because that's where you're going to get your action plan for what to do with all the fantastic product news and technical skills that you get. I'm going to wrap it all up for you there at the end of that show. So very, very excited. We
Awesome.
have so many leaders who are coming and product makers. It's very, very exciting. We'll be filming another Meet the Makers episode actually there on site. And
Yeah.
so more content coming soon.
Yeah. I think we're going to do 3 different community calls plus our show on site from Orlando too, which is going to be rad. So that'll be very cool. Yeah. And you know, our next Mondays at Microsoft is on tax day. What is that? It's like April Fool's, and now tax day is our next one. Like, I don't know what are we doing?
Somebody who's a producer of this show is paying attention to the schedule. Oh, I wonder who could that be?
Super funny. Yeah.
But you
So,
know, we're the bright spot in your April Fools that didn't fool
yeah.
you, and we will be the bright spot on your U.S. tax day should that be stressful for you. And so,
Yeah.
either way, you can join us, and we will tell you everything that is happening. It's 8:31. We are overtime. We always love
Yeah.
to start our mornings with you. I look forward to these
Yes.
days constantly, and also spending time with you, Heather. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you for dealing with our technical challenges this morning, and we
My
appreciate
pleasure.
all of you. Right?
Yeah,
We'll see you
absolutely.
very soon.
Yeah. Cheers, everybody. Have a great week. See you
Bye.
soon. Bye.